Put it down for a moment, my child. Whatever you are carrying right now, whatever you think you still have to finish tonight, whatever list is running in the back of your mind, even as you listen to me, set it down just for a little while. You do not have to pick it back up until we are done here. I have seen how hard you have been working. I have seen how long you have been running. And before I say anything else, I want to say the words your whole body has been aching to hear. Come to me, and let me give you rest. I know you almost did not stop. I know that even pausing to listen to this feels like one more thing you cannot afford, when there is so much still undone. But something in you is so tired that it made you stop anyway. Listen to that part of you. It is wiser than the part that keeps cracking the whip. Let the world keep spinning without you for a few minutes. It will manage. And for once, let someone take care of you instead of the other way around. I know how tired you are. Not the ordinary tiredness that a good night of sleep would fix. I am talking about the tiredness that has soaked all the way down into your bones. The kind that sleep does not touch anymore, because it is not really your body that is exhausted. It is your soul. You wake up already tired. You move through the day running on fumes, on coffee, on willpower, on the sheer refusal to let anything fall. And at night, when you finally lie down, your body is spent, but your mind keeps going. Running the list, bracing for tomorrow, unable to power down even when there is nothing left in the tank. I have watched you live this way for a long time now. I have seen you get up before you wanted to, and stay up later than you should, and fill every space in between with doing. I have seen the way the list never ends. You finish one thing and 3 more appear. You cross off a task and feel no relief, because the relief never comes. There is always more. You have started to feel less like a person and more like a machine that is not allowed to stop. A machine that everyone depends on, that has to keep running no matter how worn down its parts become. And I have seen why you cannot stop. For so many of you, it is not ambition, it is survival. The cost of everything has climbed and climbed, and so you work more. Take the extra shift, the second job, the side work after the day work, just to keep the household afloat. You do the math, and there is no room in it for rest. Rest feels like a luxury for people with more margin than you have. So you keep going, not because you want to, but because you cannot see how you could possibly stop without everything falling apart. For others of you, it is the weight of all the roles you carry. You are the worker, and the parent, and the child of aging parents, and the friend everyone leans on, and the one who holds the home together. Everyone needs something from you, and you have learned to give and give and give, until there is nothing left for yourself, and still the needs keep coming. You lie awake feeling guilty, not because you have done too little, but because no matter how much you do, it never feels like enough. Someone is always slightly disappointed. Something is always slightly undone, and you carry that low, constant hum of failure, even though you are doing the work of 3 people. I have seen the toll it takes, the way you snap at the people you love most, and then hate yourself for it, because you are running on empty and have nothing gentle left to give. The way you have stopped doing the things that used to bring you joy, because joy takes energy you no longer have. The way your own body has begun to send up warnings, the headaches, the tension, the exhaustion that no longer lifts. And you push past all of it because there is no time to be sick, no time to slow down, no time to listen to what your body is trying to tell you. I have seen you sit down at the end of a long day, finally still, and feel not peace, but a strange restlessness, because you have forgotten how to rest, because stillness now feels like something is wrong. I have seen you reach for your phone in the rare quiet moment, not because you want to, but because being alone with your own tiredness has become unbearable. I have seen you measure your whole day by what you accomplished, and lie awake counting not your blessings, but your unfinished tasks, as if the list were the judge of whether you were allowed to feel all right. You have become so used to the pressure that you have forgotten it is even there, the way a person stops hearing a noise they have lived with too long. But I hear it. I hear the engine of you that never shuts off, and I know how much it is costing you. I have seen you fantasize, in your most honest moments, about getting sick enough to be sent to bed, or about some emergency that would finally force the world to let you stop. Because that is the only kind of rest your tired mind can imagine. Rest that someone else forces on you. Rest you would never be allowed to simply choose. My child, what a heavy way to live, when the only rest you can picture is the kind that comes through collapse. I do not want you to have to break before you are allowed to rest. I am offering you rest now, freely, before the breaking. You do not have to fall apart to earn a pause. You only have to come. And underneath it all, I have heard the quiet question you carry, the one that comes in the lowest moments. Is this all there is? Is my whole life just going to be this, working until I drop, keeping all the plates spinning, never arriving anywhere, never able to rest? And then the deeper question, the one that aches the most. Does God even see how hard I am trying? Or am I just supposed to keep going, alone, until I finally break? My child, hear me now. I see it all. I see every hour you have poured out. I see the effort no one thanks you for, the work no one notices, the load you carry without complaint. None of it has escaped my attention. You are not invisible in your striving. I have watched every step, and my heart has gone out to you the whole time, longing for you to stop pushing long enough to let me hold you. Because here is the truth I most want you to hear tonight. I never asked you to live like this. Let me say that again, slowly, because I think somewhere along the way you came to believe that I did. I never asked you to run yourself into the ground. I never asked you to earn your worth by your exhaustion. I never asked you to carry the whole weight alone, with no rest, no relief, no help. That crushing pace was never my design for you. It is a yoke the world laid on you, and a yoke you laid on yourself. But it was never the yoke I had in mind. Hear the invitation I gave long ago, the one I am giving you again, right now. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. Listen to who that invitation is for. All ye that labor and are heavy laden. That is you. That is exactly you. I did not call the rested and the comfortable. I called the worn out, the weighed down, the ones whose arms are full and whose backs are bending under loads too heavy to bear. I called you, and I did not call you to give you one more task. I called you to give you rest. Not rest you have to earn, not rest you have to schedule after everything else is finally done, which is to say, never. Rest I give, freely, as a gift, to the tired one who simply comes. And notice what I said about my yoke. A yoke is what goes on the shoulders of an ox to help it pull. You have been wearing a yoke that is crushing you, a yoke of expectation, of fear, of the belief that it all depends on you. I am offering to exchange it. Take my yoke upon you. I said, for my yoke is easy, and my burden is light. I am not asking you to carry nothing. I am asking you to stop carrying the impossible thing, and to be yoked to me instead, where I pull alongside you, where the weight is shared, where you are no longer dragging the whole load by yourself. With me on the other side of the yoke, the same life that was crushing you becomes something you can actually bear. The work does not all disappear, but the crushing does, because you are no longer pulling alone. And hear the part you may have rushed past. I said, learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart. The reason my yoke is easy is that I am gentle. I am not a harsh master standing over you with a list, demanding more, never satisfied. That voice you have been straining to please, the one that says you have not done enough, that you should be further along, that everyone else is managing better than you. That voice is not mine. I am meek and lowly in heart. I am tender with the tired. I am patient with the slow. I do not drive my sheep until they drop. I lead them gently, at a pace they can keep, and I stop when they need to stop. If the master you have been serving is cruel and never satisfied, then you have been serving the wrong master, because it was not me. Come and learn what it is like to be led by someone gentle. You will find, perhaps for the first time in years, rest unto your soul. If these words are reaching the bone-tired place in you, the place that has been running on empty for far too long, then stay with me a little longer. There is more rest here than one night can hold. If it would help you to return, to come back tomorrow and the day after, and let me speak peace over you again, you are always welcome. This is a place where the weary can come and lay the load down as often as you need to. I will always be here. Now, let us go deeper, because I have much more rest to give a soul that has forgotten how to receive it. I want to show you something gently, because I love you too much to leave you in the trap you are caught in. You have been trying to earn something that I have already given you for free. Somewhere deep down, you came to believe that your worth depends on your output, that you are valuable as long as you are productive, useful, achieving, providing, that if you ever stopped, if you ever let the plates fall, you would discover that there was nothing underneath, that you were only ever as good as what you produced. And so you cannot rest, because to rest, feels like exposing yourself to that terrifying possibility. To rest feels like failure. To rest feels like you might disappear. But hear me, my child. I did not love you because you were productive. I loved you before you had produced a single thing. I will love you exactly the same on the day you can produce nothing at all. Your worth was never in your work. It was never in how much you carried, or how well you performed, or how many people you kept happy. Your worth is something I gave you, freely, when I made you. And nothing you do or fail to do can add to it or take it away. You are not a human doing. You are a human being, and you are allowed to simply be here with me, accomplishing nothing, and still be completely, infinitely loved. Think of how you love a child, or how you would if you held a newborn in your arms. That child has accomplished nothing. It has produced nothing, earned nothing, achieved nothing. It cannot do a single useful thing for you. And yet you would look at it with overflowing love, simply because it exists, simply because it is yours. You do not love the infant for its output. You love it for its being. That is how I look at you, my child. Not at your resume, not at your accomplishments, not at the tasks you finished today, at you, the one I made and delighted in before you had done anything at all. You spend your strength trying to become worthy of a love you already have in full. Lay that exhausting project down. You are already as loved as you will ever be. And that was true before you lifted a finger this morning. This is why rest is not the enemy you have made it out to be. Rest is not laziness. Rest is not failure. Rest is not the thing you do only after you have earned it. Rest is a gift I built into the very fabric of the world. When I made all things, I myself rested. Not because I was tired, but to show you that rest is holy, that it is woven into the rhythm of a good life, that the world does not fall apart when you stop. I made a whole day for rest and called it holy and gave it to my people as a gift. Because I knew you would forget. I knew the world would tell you that you must never stop. And I wanted you to have permission, written into the order of creation itself, to lay your work down and breathe. When you rest, you are not failing to be like me. You are being exactly like me. You are trusting that the world is held by hands stronger than yours, which it is, which it always has been. And consider this. When I gave my people that day of rest, many of them were slaves who had just been freed from a land where they had been worked without mercy, without a single day off, treated as nothing more than their labor. The command to rest was not a burden I laid on them. It was a declaration of their freedom. It was my way of saying, you are not slaves anymore. You are not defined by your work. You are mine, and free people rest. So when you refuse to rest, when you drive yourself as though stopping were forbidden, you are living again as a slave to a master I already set you free from. I did not bring you out of bondage so that you could enslave yourself to a list that never ends. Rest is how you live into the freedom I have already given you. Claim it. It is yours. Think about the picture I painted of myself as your shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. Notice the words, He maketh me to lie down. A sheep that is anxious, frightened, or driven will not lie down. It stays on its feet, tense, watchful, exhausted. It takes a good shepherd to bring the sheep to a place safe enough, fed enough, peaceful enough, that it can finally fold its legs and rest. And sometimes the shepherd has to make the sheep lie down, because the sheep does not know how to stop on its own. My child, hear this tenderly. Maybe that is what this exhaustion is. Maybe I am the shepherd trying to make you lie down, because you have forgotten how to stop, because you would run yourself to death before you would rest on your own. I am leading you to green pastures and still waters. I am trying to restore your soul, but you have to let me bring you there. You have to stop fighting the rest I am offering, and let yourself, finally, lie down. And notice the next words. He restoreth my soul. Not just your body, your soul, the deepest part of you, the part that has gone quiet and gray under all the striving, the part that used to feel wonder and joy and is now too tired to feel much of anything. I do not only want to help you function again, I want to restore the soul of you, to bring color back to a life that has faded into a long gray list of tasks. Restoration is slow, gentle work. It does not happen in a frantic instant. It happens beside still waters, in unhurried time spent with the one who made you. You cannot microwave a restored soul. You have to let the shepherd lead you, slowly, back to the places where your soul can drink. That is why you cannot rush your way out of this exhaustion. The very rushing is part of what emptied you. The way back is not faster striving. It is letting yourself be led to still waters and staying there long enough to be filled again. And see how the psalm says, I lead you in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even your usefulness, even the good work you long to do, flows out of being led and restored first. I do not restore you so that you can immediately run yourself dry again. I restore you so that you can walk the good path at a sustainable pace, as a soul who is full, rather than a machine that is empty. The order matters. First, the green pastures. First, the still waters. First, the restored soul. Then the path. You have been trying to walk the path on an empty soul for so long. Let me reverse the order. Let me fill you first. And here is something that may surprise you. Even my own son, when he walked the earth, grew tired. He worked until the crowds pressed in so thick that he and his friends could not even find time to eat. And do you know what he did? He did not push through. He did not call it weakness. He turned to his exhausted friends and said, Come ye yourselves apart into a desert place, and rest a while. Come away, rest. He built rest into the rhythm of the most important work that has ever been done. If the work of saving the world could pause for rest, then your work can pause too. You are not stronger than my son, and you are not required to be. The disciples were not lazy for resting. They were wise, and the invitation he gave them, come away and rest a while, is the same invitation I am giving you tonight. Notice, too, the timing of it. The disciples had just come back from doing wonderful work, healing and teaching and pouring themselves out. They were full of stories, full of momentum. The world would have said, "This is no time to stop. You are on a roll. Push harder. Do more while the doing is good." But that is exactly when my son called them to rest. Not when the work ran out, but in the middle of the good and important work. Because he knew that those who never stop in the middle eventually collapse at the end. Rest is not what you do when there is nothing left to do. There will always be more to do. The crowds in that story did not disappear. They followed. They kept coming. The needs never stopped. Rest is the thing you choose in the middle of the unending need, because you have learned that you are a limited and beloved creature and not an endless machine. My son knew his limits and honored them. And he was the strongest soul who ever lived. Honoring your limits is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is holy. It is how you last. And see how my son rested without guilt. He did not apologize for it. He did not earn it first by finishing everything. He simply withdrew again and again to quiet places, to pray, to be with me, to be restored. If the Son of God needed regular rest and quiet and time apart to be renewed, then you, my beloved and very human child, need it far more. And there is no shame in it whatsoever. The shame you feel when you rest is a lie the world taught you. Let my son's example wash it away. Rest is not a failure of faithfulness. For my son, rest was part of faithfulness. Let it be part of yours. So let me speak directly to the fear underneath your exhaustion. The fear that says, "But if I stop, it all falls apart. If I rest, the money runs short. The work piles up. The people I carry come crashing down." I hear that fear, and I am not going to dismiss it, because your responsibilities are real, and I take them seriously. But I want to ask you something gently. Do you really believe that the whole thing is held up by your refusal to rest? Do you really believe that you and you alone, by sheer exhaustion, are keeping the world from collapsing? My child, that is a heavier burden than any human was ever meant to carry. And it is not true. You are not the one holding it all together. I am. I never stopped. When you finally lie down and close your eyes, I do not. I keep watch. I sustain what you cannot. The world does not depend on your sleeplessness. It rests in my hands. And so do you. And so do all the people you are so afraid of failing. And to those of you whose exhaustion is tied to money, to the second job, the extra shift, the working and working just to stay afloat as the cost of everything climbs. Hear me with special tenderness. I see how real that pressure is. I am not going to pretend that rest will pay your bills, or that you can simply walk away from work you cannot afford to lose. But I will say this: even in the tightest season, you are still not your own source. The same God who feeds the birds of the air, who has carried you through every lean stretch before this one, is your provider, not your own endless labor. You can work hard and still refuse to worship work. You can do what must be done and still carve out small spaces of rest. Even an hour. Even a quiet morning with me. And trust that I can stretch what you have further than your exhaustion ever could. Do not give me only your striving and never your trust. The one who works from trust accomplishes more, with less damage to their soul, than the one who works from fear. I am not asking you to be irresponsible. I am asking you to stop carrying the part of the load that was always mine. The part labeled, "It all depends on me." Hand me that part. It never fit your shoulders anyway. I am not promising that resting will be easy, or that the pressures will magically vanish. But I am promising that I am able to do more with your rested trust than with your exhausted striving. When you wear yourself down to nothing, you are no good to anyone, least of all to the people you are trying to serve. But when you let me restore you, when you come to the still waters and let your soul be renewed, you return to your life with something to give again. Rest is not stealing from your responsibilities. Rest is what makes you able to carry them at all. Hear what I have promised to those who stop striving and start trusting. They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. Look closely at that promise, because it overturns everything the world taught you. The world says strength comes from pushing harder, grinding longer, never stopping. I say strength comes from waiting upon me, from pausing, from turning to me and letting me be your source instead of your own depleted willpower. The ones who learn to wait on me do not run out. They renew. They find strength that does not come from themselves, a strength that lets them rise like the eagle rises, not by frantic flapping, but by spreading its wings and letting the wind that is already there carry it up. You have been flapping for so long, my child. You are exhausted from trying to hold yourself up by your own effort. I am inviting you to spread your wings and let me be the wind beneath them, to stop generating all your own strength and start receiving mine. That is the secret the weary world has forgotten. Strength is not something you squeeze out of yourself until you are dry. It is something I give to those who wait on me. And notice the order of the promise, because it is full of tenderness. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint. The world would have put it the other way, the impressive thing first and the small thing last. But I know how life actually goes. There are seasons when, renewed by me, you will soar, lifted high, full of strength and vision. There are other seasons when the best you can do is run and keep running and not collapse. And there are long, ordinary stretches when soaring and running are both beyond you. And all you can do is put one foot in front of the other and walk. And I made a promise for that season too. They shall walk and not faint. On the days you cannot soar, on the days you cannot even run, when all you can manage is to keep walking, I will be the strength that keeps you from fainting. I meet you in every season, not only the high ones, the plodding, exhausted walk of a faithful, tired soul is precious to me, and I will hold you up through every step of it. I know that for some of you, the tiredness has gone deeper than the body, deeper even than the soul's weariness I have been describing. Some of you have run so long on empty that you have begun to lose hope, to feel a darkness that frightens you, to wonder if there is any point in going on at all. If that is you, hear me with the greatest tenderness I have. This is not a weakness in you. This is a soul that has been pressed beyond what anyone could bear, crying out for relief. Please do not carry this part alone. Reach for the people I have placed in your life, even if you have to whisper it, even if your pride resists. Tell someone you trust how tired you really are. And if the weight has become more than any conversation can lift, let someone help you find the deeper care you deserve. There is no shame in needing help to carry a load this heavy. Letting others help you is not failure. It is the very thing I designed my family to do, to bear one another's burdens, so that no one breaks under a weight meant to be shared. You were never meant to bear the darkest tiredness alone, and you do not have to. So let me show you the way forward, my child. Not a heavy new program, but a few small, livable things, the kind that are actually possible for a tired person. The first is simply this. Come, each day, before the list begins its shouting, come to me, even for a few minutes. Bring me the load. Say it out loud. This is everything I am carrying. This is what is crushing me. And then, having named it, do the thing that feels almost impossible. Stop for a moment and let yourself be still in my presence, and let me begin to restore your soul. You do not have to fix anything in that moment. You do not have to solve the list. You just have to come and be, and breathe, and receive. Being with me, even briefly, even daily, will do more to renew you than another hour of frantic effort ever could. The second is to take one real rest. Not someday, this week. Choose one space of time, even an hour, even a single afternoon, and guard it like the holy thing it is. Lay the work down. Turn off the noise. Do something that restores you, or nothing at all. And when the guilt rises, as it will, remind yourself that you are not being lazy. You are obeying the God who made rest holy. You are accepting a gift I have been holding out to you for a very long time. Let this be the beginning of a new rhythm, where rest is not the thing you collapse into when you finally break, but a regular, sacred part of how you live. And start smaller than you think you need to, because a tired soul cannot leap straight into a whole day of stillness. Begin with the small pauses, a few slow breaths before you start the car, a moment of quiet before you answer the next demand. One meal eaten slowly, without a screen, without rushing to the next thing. These small rests are like little sips of water for a parched soul. They will not fix everything at once, but they will begin to teach your body, which has forgotten, that it is allowed to stop, that the world does not end when you pause, that there is a different way to live than the breathless one you have known. Take the small pauses and let them grow, until rest becomes not a foreign country you visit once in a great while, but the very ground you walk on. And if you do not have the words to pray tonight, you may borrow these. Say to me simply, God, I am so tired. I have been trying to carry everything, and I cannot do it anymore. I have been working to earn what you say you already give me for free. Tonight, I lay it all down at your feet. I give you the list, the pressure, the people I carry, the fear of what happens if I stop. Be my shepherd. Make me lie down in green pastures. Restore my soul. Teach me to wait on you, so my strength is renewed. And help me believe that I am loved, not for what I produce, but simply because I am yours. That is all. A prayer does not have to be long to reach me. The tired, honest cry of a worn-out heart is one of the prayers I love to answer most. If these words have brought any rest to your weary soul tonight, I want you to do one small, gentle thing with them. Tell me, in whatever way you pray, the heaviest thing you have been carrying, and let yourself lay it down here, in my presence. And if it would help to know you are not the only one who is this tired, there are others listening tonight who are carrying loads just as heavy as yours. You might leave a word for them where others can see it. A word of understanding, a prayer, an encouragement, so that the weary can strengthen one another, and no one feels they are the only one running on empty. There is comfort in knowing you are not alone in your tiredness. And if you would like to keep walking with me, to let me speak rest over you again in the days to come, you are always welcome to return. I will be here. I am always here. So let your shoulders drop, my child. Unclench the jaw you did not even know you were clenching. Let the breath go all the way down, slow and deep, the way it has not gone in a very long time. The world told you that you had to keep going, that to stop was to fail, that rest had to be earned. The world was wrong. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to be held. You are allowed to lay the whole heavy thing down and let the one who never grows tired carry it through the night. And carry this with you when you step back into your busy days. You are not walking back out as a machine returning to its labor. You are walking out as a beloved child who has been reminded who they are. Let that change how you work. Work, yes, but from rest, not from fear. Serve, yes, but from a soul that is being filled, not one that is running on fumes. You will find that the work done from rest is better work, kinder work, more faithful work than the work you wrung out of your exhaustion. The world will tell you that you accomplished more by never stopping. It is not true. The most lasting things are done by people who learned to rest in me and work from the overflow. Become one of them. Let me restore you again and again, and watch how much more whole your living becomes. Now receive my blessing over you. Before you go, may you sleep tonight a sleep that reaches all the way down to the tired places, and wake tomorrow with something you have not felt in a long while. The beginnings of being restored. May you feel my yoke settle gently onto your shoulders, in place of the crushing one you have worn so long, and find that with me beside you, the load is finally bearable. May you learn to wait on me and discover strength that does not run out, rising like the eagle on a wind you did not have to make. May you give yourself permission to rest and feel no guilt in it. only the quiet holiness of doing what your Maker designed you to do. May you remember, every time the striving tempts you back, that you are loved not for what you carry, but simply for who you are. May the lie that it all depends on you fall away, and may you rest in the truth that the world is held and you are held by hands that never tire. And may the shepherd of your soul lead you again and again to the green pastures and the still waters, until your weary heart learns at last that it is safe to lie down. You are not a machine. You are my beloved child. You are allowed to rest. You are carried, even now, by hands that never tire. And I am with you, today and tomorrow and always. Come to me, my child, all you who are weary, and I will give you rest.